Welcome, everybody, to a daily place of sanity here. We're learning Torah and we're learning Kabbalah, and I wish everybody will do that. Will solve the world a lot of problems. We're going to continue today in our discussion regarding the Sferot, or as they say, God's eminence. And yesterday we spoke a little bit about Keter. Again, what I'm telling you now is not even the tip of the iceberg. It's not even it's few words in trying to describe the world. But still, I think you'll be better off knowing that and understanding that. And by doing so, maybe prevent yourself from falling into misconception or misled by some people who are not appropriately representing that Kabbalah. So let's jump right in, and just don't forget, please, to share, like, and subscribe. You can reach us at rabbigaon@gmail.com. You can check us in the Yeshiva at yeshiva.etzion.com, and follow us on Instagram, Facebook, and all other social media like that. It's a place here where when we offer you social comfort and responsibility. And that should be your refuge for the day. Anyway, let's go right in. Today we're talking about the Sfera of Chokhmah, wisdom, eminence of wisdom. So the Chokhmah, as we said beforehand, is the first reality, substance that is out there that is being formed from the nothingness of the Keter. And that's why Chokhmah is also referred to as Abba, or Father, because it is the beginning of existence, of awareness, that its source is the absolute nothingness that is not considered to be what we call Havaya, means experience, something that is real substance. The sign of the Chokhmah is the sign of the Nekudah, the point. In this point, we can find any real reality. It's an axiom, but everything is in that point in potential. The point comes to represent the beginning from which we could continue many different lines until endless possibility, or from there in the future, or back all the way to Ein Sof. Also, when just like we start writing on a piece of paper, the first point, the first contact that the pencil or the pen reach the paper, it's first of all, it's a point that is necessary, because before you start writing, actually start to touch it. That point that they touch, the first place of contact, that's Chokhmah. And later on, you could continue from that a whole volumes of books, but that continuation of the point, and by writing those lines that we call letters, that's already a matter of creating the Binah. But the point is the Chokhmah. In Sefer HaBahir, written by Rabbi Nuchoniah ben Hakana, Rabbi Chumai explains that the Sfera of Chokhmah, which is wisdom, represents by the bet of the Bereshit, because we said, remember, yesterday we spoke about creating the point and time and so on and so forth, right? And is the transition between God's transcendence and his immanence. And it's not only surrounds, but it's also in the feeling of everything there around. So this is the beginning of all. Now, when we talk about the other Sfera, which is Binah, now the Sfera of Binah, first of all, is a development of the eminence of Chokhmah, and from the point that was revealed in Chokhmah, that's where the Binah is being that was created there. That's the point. That's the point in which Binah is being revealed, and this is a wonderful chamber that or hall or chamber or whatever that was created, that started with this one particular point. That was the source of all. That chamber that we are talking about in terms of Binah is like a womb for many other points and letters and so on and so forth that exist in the Chokhmah, that within this chamber, they develop and they form basically the rest of the Sferot, the lower Sferot, and they really get the appropriate shape that they have, or the final shape, or the appropriate shape, or the potential for the shape towards their birth, towards their emerging into the world. For that reason, the Binah is also referred to in Kabbalah as the name of Ima, mother. So we have the father and we have the mother, right? It's Abba ve'Ima. So in Kabbalah, when they refer to Abba and Ima, you know that Abba is Chokhmah and Binah is Ima. And in that eminence, in that sphera, the realities are being formed together by very specific details and a very specific form and shape. And that is what we call in Kabbalah Havanat Davar Mitoch Davar, right? It's that form, that very refined form that exists in Chokhmah is being really formatted now into a more solid and noticeable way in Binah, and it becomes like almost like independent, shape. Because if, for example, you're talking about the cell that the mother has, or the egg that the mother has, you don't really see the form, an independent form, until later on, about, let's say, 40 days from the creation of the baby, right? And this is, that concept is just like a baby in his mother's womb. The Binah is also another name for Binah, is also called Tshuva, and also called Olam Haba, because the Sfera of Binah is the source to the first revelation, the first exposure of the whole entire universe. And at the end, everything is coming back to that Sfera of Binah. The Binah is the source for Olam HaAtzilut, and therefore it's also called Em HaBanim. When we say Em HaBanim Smecha, right, that refers to the Sfera of Binah. When the Banim Bet Nun Yud Mem, from the word Binah or Binyan, Em HaBanim, right, the mother of Binah, the mother of the children, the mother of those who build, right? So the Banim are called the 6 lower Sferot, the 6 other Sferot that come from, that go all the way from Chesed all the way to Yesod, that are being represented in the 6 days of creation. Sfirat HaMalchut, so that's called, and of course, that what we call Ze'er Anpin, right, the small face. And Sfirat HaMalchut is considered to be the daughter, the bat. Again, these are all analogies. Sfirat HaMalchut, by Malchut, it shows that it's feminine, is parallel in a way to the Sfira of Binah. That Binah is also feminine, and therefore the Binah is called Ima Ilaha, the superior mother. And this is the quote unquote the mother in which the spiritual world is, is being created. And the Malchut is called the lower mother, in which everything that exists, including everything that exists and including the physical world, comes and derives from her. In other words, the lower world comes from Sfirat Malchut. So, and the Binah, by the way, is being represented, for those of you who like to do Tikkun Chatzot and so on, the Binah is being represented by Leah, the wife of Yaakov, right? And the Malchut is being represented by Rachel, which is the second wife of Yaakov Avinu. The Keter, on the other hand, is many times represented as as the source of the brook, the bubbling brook. Sferat HaChokhmah, so Keter is the source, right? The reservoir, whatever it is. Chokhmah is the brook of the spring itself, right? Also, another name for that is called Eden, right? Nahara Yotzemi Eden. So the Nahar that comes out from Chokhmah, now you understand that it has And now if you look at what it says, the description of Gan Eden, if we said the Chokhmah is called Eden, not Eden, Eden, so therefore the 4 points that come out of it, the 4 rivers that it says in Maaseh Bereshit, now you understand that it came from one particular point. What is that one particular point? That's called Chokhmah. In Binah, Binah is called the Ma'ayan. The brook already becomes into a river that comes from Eden. So therefore, the Nahara Yotzei Eden, right? That is Sfirat Binah, that also is being branched and into other, let's say, creeks, right? Which is the other Sfirot. And as at the end, Kol HaNachalim, right? All the rivers. And if you look at the picture of the 10 Sfirot, Kol HaNachalim Olchim El Hayam. All the rivers at the end, everything leads towards Yesod. And Yesod is considered to be the Nahara Tachton, the lower river, right? And then it, in a way, brings the Shefa, the abundance, to the ocean, which is Sfirat HaMalchut. Now, so you understand how things have to go. Everything has to come cascading all the way from Keter, which is the source, all the way down to our world, but it has to go through Yesod. That's why if you now understand when we're talking about Yesod and what's represented in the human body as Yesod, that's why you have to be very careful in what you do with it. That's why Chachamim, when they made the Gezerah on Pitam, Saltam, not to eat certain wine and so on and so forth, right? You understand why is that? Because when you take the Shefa and you put it into a different source represented by other people, therefore you are basically wasting a tremendous resource. Instead of fixing the world, well, that's what you're doing when you ruin the world. So, that's why it is very important not to intermarry and to stay loyal to your people, and basically not to betray your people by doing so, because you might say, oh, it's all about me, this and that, and find out with many excuses. But basically what you're doing, that you are destroying an ability for all of us to fix the world better, because you are a wasted resource, basically what it is. So this is, I think, a lot for one day. I would get back to you, Bezat Hashem, tomorrow. I would recommend you to really go over it and understand this, so you can understand it a little better. Maybe tomorrow we're going to talk about male and female, or other things like that. So please stay tuned. And if you have any questions, again, you can reach us at rabbigaon@gmail.com. And until then, boys and girls, don't lose hope, because salvation is on the way. Have a great day.